Welcome to another episode of the Buy Time Podcast. My name is Jacob K. Mead, and today I'm super excited because we have two guests, and they are owners of WeWash Laundry Co. And go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. This is Claudia, and then we also have Stephanie here. Claudia, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am not originally from here. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I don't really have the accent anymore until I say y'all, and then people say, wait a minute, you're from the South. I'm a mama to three. Age range, we have one that just graduated all the way down to one who's about to start preschool.
Oh, wow.
So we've got the big gap. And then as far as Stephanie and I and the whole WeWash thing, we're two mamas who despise doing laundry. So we figured, we are the OG, the original laundry haters. Why not find those magic fairies to come in and do laundry for us? And that's kind of where WeWash Laundry Co. got started.
That's awesome. I hate doing laundry myself. My wife tries to get me to do it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And she's like, has piles of laundry. So that's awesome.
I feel like with children, it's just never ending.
It's never ending. It's always going.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what's a little bit about yourself?
So I also have three kids. I have three girls. So for us, there's multiple outfit changes, which is a lot of laundry. And Claudia and I were actually in my living room, and we were complaining about laundry and all the chores and all the things. And we were like, you know what? The Des Moines area needs something like this. Let's do it.
Yeah, you hear about it in New York, California.
Yeah.
It's something that's very well known there. Why not here in the Midwest where families are running back and forth to sporting events. Mom and dad are both working. Or, even mom being at home full-time with babies.
So little time in the day. They need someone to be able to support them.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And so,
that's how we ended up where we are today.
So
who knew?
Who knew? So what were you guys doing prior to this? What were you guys doing? What was your guys' adventure before starting this company?
So I graduated from St. Ambrose University, and that's in Davenport, Iowa, with public relations and marketing. And so I've always kind of been in event management and traveled a lot before I had kids. And then I decided we were ready to start a family, so I needed to kind of get out of the event management because you're gone all the time, and then just do marketing strictly. So that's what I was doing, and I was ready to kind of work for myself and have a purpose and show my daughters, that women, we can do it.
That's
we can
so
do
empowering.
it. Be a big
boss.
boss.
So be a big boss, and you're a woman, you're a leader,
Yeah.
and to show your kids that's super empowering. Claudia, what about you?
So I have somewhat of a marketing background as well as a recruiting background. Prior to this, I was actually at home with my little ones, but back in the day, I hired medical personnel to work on military Air Force bases around the U.S. So
exciting stuff. So
and her human resources background,
I bet
we have needed it. Let's just put it that way. Anything that's a problem, Claudia. It's Claudia. Go to Claudia.
That's all right.
It makes it a little bit easier having someone that's an expert in that field.
Yeah.
I don't know about an expert, but
well, we have 23 employees.
Yeah.
And so with employees comes problems, right? And I like her to handle all the problems.
And I'm okay with it. I don't mind.
Yeah, and then that's important. Have someone that's good at being able to handle the situations and problems that come up.
She's good with email, and I'm good with phone calls and in person. So we kind of just balance each other out.
So 23 employees. So you guys are very familiar with staffing. Talk to me a little bit about some staffing struggles that you might have gone through, or what is your staffing struggles like?
It's just forever changing. I feel like there are times where we are staffed to the max and it's a well-oiled machine and everything's going great. And then one goes, and it could be due to, they specifically wanted to come and work evenings with us to supplement their income. Maybe they had a family medical problem they're trying to pay off. Or it's mom who's at home all day, who when dad gets home, they can kind of exchange children. Mom's able to get in a couple of hours in the evening to supplement their income.
But from the beginning, so we opened 6 weeks before the pandemic.
Oh,
So
wow.
really, our struggle has been completely up and down and not really normal. We can't really say what
we've had a normal
is,
year. Right.
Because when COVID originally happened, you remember that we shut down for
everything shut down.
Yeah.
It completely shut everything
and we
down.
had no idea what this virus was. People didn't want to work, so we had to keep doing our business. And we were the ones that had to do everything from the driving to,
we did, because
So you were the heart of the business
Yeah,
when
so
this
we
was
had just
starting
hired
going.
on 2 employees. It was so extremely slow that we had to get really, really creative on how we were going to continue to pump the business up and grow the business while it only being the 2 of us. So like Steph mentioned, we were the driver, we were the launderer, we were the folders, we were the laundry deliverer. We've done it all. So we say it all the time. There's nothing we would ever expect our employees to do that we've never done
Yeah,
ourselves.
and finding the time to be moms on top of all of this.
I'm not sure how we did it.
It's like I always say it's like having another baby. We really, and here's the crazy part is we both had little ones at home under a year old. So we really had 2 babies.
Yeah, we did. And I think I've blocked it out. You know how you kind of block things out? And
You
you're
do.
like,
You get to a certain point and you start to almost forget.
I mean, it's like when you have a baby. That's why you have more, because you forget how bad it really was, you know?
Truth of parenthood right there. Why you guys having another? Because we forget.
Oh, we forgot.
Oh goodness, that's too funny. And that's why it took me 7 years between each kid.
Oh, that's great. So you guys obviously right during COVID, having that staffing struggle, having to actually work in the heart of the company, you think that made you stronger leaders now because you can tell your employees that, hey, we've done this all. We know what you're going through. We understand the struggles and we can kind of help you overcome.
And we did everything we possibly could wrong to learn from it and
every
fix
mistake.
it. And now it's, like I said, a well-oiled machine.
And that's awesome. So you can take some time and step outside of your business now and focus more working on your business versus working in it. And that's something I teach in my workshops, and I teach how to kind of work on your business versus working in it.
Yes.
But talk to me a little bit about the struggle that was to get to that point. Was it something that came easy, or was it something that actually took time? And then how did you feel when you got to that point?
Well, I think, again, it goes back to that time period where we were so in it because we didn't have employees and because we were going through this pandemic that it was hard for us to change our mindset when the time came.
Right.
So when we were able to finally hire staff and good staff, and we had them trained very well, neither one of us really were able to step away the way we should have.
Yeah. And I'd say that was probably one of our biggest
hurdles
overcoming was no one's going to do it like we are. It's our business, and no one's going to do it better.
Relinquishing control.
Yes,
one of the steps in the buy time
absolutely.
process is relinquishing your control. It's hard to do.
Oh,
It is
absolutely.
so hard.
Because you want things to be perfect, and you got to relinquish that.
And that was by far our biggest struggle, and I think we were in the business too long, way longer than we should have been
in the
actually
day-to-day.
operating right in the business. But once we found those people that could come in and pick up where we left off, who were trainable, who were great at doing their job, it was kind of like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air. Who else can we hire, and what can we hire them, to do? So
yeah, and at this point now, it's like we're going back to the basics. With our grassroots marketing, we're trying to remember to stay focused because I think we were spread so thin.
as an entrepreneur, you're just trying to figure out what works.
100%.
You're
And
doing
there's
everything.
things calling you left and right.
Yes.
Everyone wants a piece of what you're doing, and it's so hard to stay focused on what your actual mission is and your goals. And because you have people every corner of your life looking to guide you in the right direction.
And I think when you're being pulled in 10 different directions, it's extremely difficult to give any single thing your all. So that's been another thing that
your personal life too. I mean, that's really been a balance because as a woman and as a mother, we have these really high expectations that we're running the household and our kids.
We can do it all.
Yeah, and that we can run this business. And thankfully, we have a partnership because I'm not sure how anyone could do it alone. Kudos to people that can just take it all on like that.
Oh,
it's hard.
It's very difficult, and having that partner, having someone to rely on, that's important. And you talked a little bit about mindset, Stephanie, and that's so important too because I feel like when you have a business, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. One day you feel like we're killing it, we're doing a great job, and then the other day you feel like, man, our sales are down. Are we going to even survive?
Yeah.
I feel that in my personal business, and it's a struggle.
I've told everyone that we talk to though, this entrepreneurship is not for the weak, and it's like you're on a roller coaster ride the entire time. When you are high, you are high.
There's no getting off from it.
No, when
There's
you're
a permanent
low,
seatbelt.
there's low. Yes.
Yeah.
So like she mentioned, just extremely thankful and grateful to have that person. And typically we kind of laugh about it, but when she's on a high, I'm there to support. Or when she's on a low, I'm there to support. And it's kind of been vice versa. It's never we're both really in the low at the same time. So
Thankfully.
That's so important. See,
Yeah.
that's something my wife does for me is when I'm feeling low, she's there to be like, hey, listen, we'll get through it. Sales are slow right now, but we know they're going to pick up because it's tough. As you both know, it's tough. And you mentioned how important it was, Stephanie, to have time to be able to spend with your family. And how do you manage that? How do you manage the work-life balance? Obviously you're running this successful business, 23 employees, is it?
Yeah.
And how do you do that? How do you go about that?
Well, for me, I know that I would never be the best mother that being home all the time. So for me, working is important. That helps my mental health. And during the pandemic, when we were really in the business constantly and working all the time, I almost became, I was unhappy a little bit, and I'm like, gosh, why are we doing this? This is a grind. Like, what's the point of this? I'm trying to build something for our kids and for the community and
mind
for
you,
myself.
we hate doing laundry.
Yeah,
Here
so
we are doing the laundry.
That's exactly right.
That's what it was.
And it brings you down,
Oh, yeah.
So what I found for me personally is I started exercising. And I know it sounds so dumb.
No, it doesn't. It makes a big difference.
I have really felt just so much better. Like I can handle my parenting better. I'm more patient. I'm kinder. I'm nicer to the employees, even when they drive me crazy.
You have to have an
at times.
out.
Yes, I have to
Yeah.
have that release. And so that is mine. And also, I'm a big podcast listener.
Hey, that's good.
I feel like
Our
I get
audience
a
is
lot
going to
of
love that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I get these little nuggets that I need to hear. It's like, I think things are where they need to be when you need it in life. And
Yeah.
sometimes,
That's 100% true. My wife always says, I've told you this a million times. Why do you get it when someone else tells you? It's because I just hear your voice all the time. So I sometimes need to hear it from someone else, to understand it. But it's so true. I listen to podcasts myself, and sometimes the inspiration that comes from that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So Claudia, what about you? How do you go about buying time?
Buying time. Oh, goodness.
So you have this staff, and so
Yes.
staff's in place. You obviously have your time there.
Yeah.
So how do you go about utilizing that time? What do you do in that?
So we have a supervisor who basically is able to run the show. Rowan is fantastic, from taking phone calls to responding to emails to dealing with our employees. And so that enables me to be at home more with my children. I am very much so that hands-on mom. I love attending every single sports game I can. All three of my children are all very active. I love being able to participate in being in it for school and volunteering and things like that. So I feel like this has really, really worked out for us because we are now at a point to where we can step away and know that it's going to be taken care of.
Such an important place to be. I did a video a
Yes.
while back that said, do you want to be that parent that says, I will try to make it, or do you want to be that parent that says, I will make it?
Yeah.
And that's important.
that's-
I will make it.
Yeah.
Your kids hear that, they see you, and they're the
Yeah.
next generation. And so it's so important to see that. And it's awesome that you've learned that, especially so early on in your guys' business, of how to be able to step outside and work on your business versus working in it. And so you have all this extra time to be able to focus on the family,
What matters
what
most.
matters
And
most,
that's-
and not doing laundry.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and for us, for the first 2 years, we did it together, like everything. And so that was, again, draining. So about a year and a half ago, I said to her, hey, why don't we do a week on, week off on call?
Yeah.
So now she has a week where she is totally on
Yep.
and I'm off. So I can do my thing with my family. I don't have to have my phone by me all the
That's
time.
so
Which is
cool.
nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
And here's the
nice.
thing, instead of both of us being in the grind all the time, it's really, really nice because, we have busy weeks, but I'm able to do it all. As far as the emails, the phone calls, whatnot, with our supervisor and our employees, of course, but I'm able to do it all. And then come Friday, I'm like, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel because I know I'm going to have the entire next week off to where I'm not having to respond to emails, take phone calls, whatnot. I mean, we're still
It gives
there
you
for
that
each other
refresher.
100%.
You need
But it
that.
does. It refreshes us for the next week for when we're, I think just mindset is like, yeah, we're ready to take on this week.
Yes.
It's my week. But
And this is a service. So we're service oriented and we are like, we're the ones answering the phones.
Yeah.
And we want to be giving the best quality service to our customers. So we're able
that's
to do
one
that.
of the things that I don't really feel we are wanting to pass to anyone else right now. We still want to be that voice on the other
Voice
end
of
of the
company,
line.
yeah.
Yes,
Voice,
yes.
voice that they hear when they call in.
Yes.
And so, if let's say, do you guys have business contracts and things like that with area businesses, or do you just work with homes?
Oh no, we
No,
do
so
both.
we do residential and commercial. And that ranges anywhere from like beauty salons to physical therapy to massage places to...
Did you say dental?
No, dental.
Wow.
We do a
Another
ton
one.
of like golf clubs, doing their table linens, party rental supplies.
So you're giving them the opportunity to have more time to focus on their business.
Absolutely.
And not just doing laundry all the time. Who wants to do
Right.
laundry?
Or even, I mean, there are other companies who are also in the same boat that most of us are in, as far as it's really difficult to find employees. So when they have that employee who's supposed to come in and do the laundry who doesn't show up, I mean, you can't just serve your next lunch on dirty tables. So we are their backup plan,
Yeah.
for them being short-staffed themselves.
And think about it. How long does it take you to do a load of laundry? Wash it, dry it,
Does it get
fold
put away?
it. Do you put it away?
Does it sit there for 3 days on the chair with the
Right.
wife saying, it's going to get put away?
Right.
Which I try and help with the best I can,
Yeah.
but with kids, time
Yeah.
just gets by us. So.
But I mean, it takes like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
from beginning
Oh,
to
yeah.
end. And what could you do with that 2.5 hours
Yeah.
instead of laundry?
It's so awesome. You give people the opportunity to buy their time back, and they can spend it with their friends. They can spend it with their family, their loved ones, or even taking some me time. It's so important nowadays. I think we all forget to kind of just take a breather and focus on ourselves. And it's awesome that you guys give them that opportunity. Now, you've had this business. What are some struggles? And we'll start with you, Claudia.
Yeah.
What are some struggles that you might have had in the business currently? Like what are some struggles that you've had to overcome?
I would say staffing is constantly a struggle.
Seems to be a struggle for a lot now.
Yeah, but that's everyone. And I know we're not in it alone. I mean, you see now hiring signs everywhere you go. That's probably the biggest struggle. I think another big struggle that we've overcome is, like you said, just letting go of being in control.
Relinquishing control is hard. It makes
is
you almost
very
feel
hard.
guilty at point two, because
Yeah.
you feel like you should be working in your business versus working on it. And
Yeah.
that's something that's really hard to overcome as well. I try and talk a little bit on that in my workshops and kind of show business owners that you can do it, but you need someone there to support you, because it's tough. And you guys have each other to support each other through that and say, listen, we're doing the right thing. We're taking the right step, and we're stepping away from our company to work on it. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think employees, they expect to see us up there a lot. And that's hard because they don't understand all the things that we're doing behind the scenes.
Oh, 100%. And I get that in my business.
Yeah.
And that's where that guilt almost
Yes.
comes in, because you feel like you're not there. And then they're not seeing you, and they're like,
Yes.
well, what are they doing? Like, I don't
Right.
see
I'm
them
just
physically
working,
something.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not on a beach somewhere
Yeah.
kicking up my
Right.
feet, sipping on a margarita.
Right.
I'm actually
Although
working.
I'd like to be there.
Oh, wouldn't we all, especially as business owners. But I agree with that, Stephanie. I 100% agree that employees sometimes don't see what goes behind the scenes and
Yeah.
what gets them that paycheck at the end of the pay period.
Yeah.
And it's tough. And avoiding that guilt is so hard to do, but it's so great. Yeah, guys, you have each other to
Yeah, we
support
always
each
say
other.
yin and yang.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a lady power team right
Yeah.
there.
That's
So
right.
Double duo.
so what are some accomplishments? What are some really big accomplishments that you've had in your business? We'll start with either of you.
I would say, I mean, being able to be here today and say we've been open for 3 years as of February.
That
so
is awesome,
basically
especially
almost
launching
3 and a
during
half.
COVID.
Yes. I would say that's a huge accomplishment right there. And being able to have a staff of 23 employees. It was definitely not easy getting there, but we're there. So being able to be here today to share our story, I feel, is an accomplishment.
Yeah, and I mean, I think another accomplishment that we haven't really shared with you yet is that we do a lot of consulting for this industry. So all these people that want to own these wash and fold laundry companies,
Because that's the new up and coming thing.
100%.
that guess who they're calling? Us. Who would have thought?
The ladies that started it in Des Moines, Iowa.
Right,
Yeah.
of all places. Well, in that, and I mean, just growing the company
Yeah,
as much as we've had, from year one,
yeah.
has been a huge accomplishment as well.
But I mean, the two people that really, we really hate laundry. And you're calling us to help you, but it's
Right.
more about launching this business and how to make it work and how,
Who would have ever thought we'd be the laundry experts?
Yeah,
as
no,
far
not
as
me. I mean,
getting the business up and running and all the processes and procedures
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we laugh because when we very first started, we both backed in with this van that we had just bought, and the laundry was to the ceiling, and we started crying.
We did. Because
I
we
can
had to do
I can only
it.
imagine the laundry
So-
anxiety coming over you.
We,
You're like, oh,
we hate
no.
doing laundry at home for our own families. It's
Oh.
like, and now we're doing strangers' laundry, and we're
It
doing
never
like
ends.
hundreds of pounds of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
it was.
Thankfully, we really don't do that anymore.
No.
Where's
Yeah.
the
Where's
Sure.
the what?
Buy your time back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put people in place. So you talked about your staffing, and I like to always say having that dream team in place. That's
Yeah.
so important. Before you start building out your services, before you start building out your products, it's so important to have that team, because without that team, you're going to be stuck working 60, 70 hours in your
Right.
business. How important is it to you guys to keep that dream team?
Our dream team changes though, because we have more like entry level positions. It's a service level, and most of them are part-time positions, so they work 4 hours a night, and this
So
is
you're
our
always
second
looking
job.
for that dream
We're
team.
always looking, and we just
But we do have our main.
yes,
Like our laundry sorter, our launderers, our drivers.
yeah, their main
They are our main.
consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like we're always hiring, and we just have to have a mindset that it's not a problem. It's
Yeah.
just an opportunity, and we just need to
When it's
know
an
it's part
yeah.
of this.
It's just a good mindset. You know,
Yeah.
look at every problem as an opportunity
Right.
to be able to overcome it, because we get so many of those in
Oh,
business.
yeah.
It's
Every
you know,
day.
just when you think you're going down the road and it's a straight narrow path, you start to see the curves, and it's
Yep.
sometimes hard to overcome it.
And you
Yeah.
can get really low, during that time. And that's hard. And you do feel alone. I mean, I don't have any other friends that are really business owners. So I can't really, they don't
Relate.
understand.
They don't really relate.
It's tough, and that's
Yeah.
I was in that predicament for such a long time, and I didn't know very many business owners, and I started connecting, building a group, and really talking with everyone. And I realized it's nice to have someone that can relate.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
because when I was first started my business, no one knows that I had to sell stuff to make payroll. I had to not give myself a paycheck for a month
Yes.
straight to pay my employees.
Yeah.
But they didn't see that. My employees never seen any of that, and then they don't, because I don't want them to, because I want to make sure that they know that they have a strong leader in
Right.
place. But but besides that, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
tough knowing this is what you have to do. And
But I think you have to
sacrifice
go through those
make.
struggles to have the growth that we do.
100%. Without those struggles, you wouldn't have success.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's so important.
Yeah.
And so you do laundry in your free time. You're both moms. It's
Yeah.
amazing how you manage all that time that you have available. It's just great that you're bringing that, and you're helping other people be able to get their time back, and giving them the opportunity to do the same, spend with their families, spend with their loved
Yeah.
ones. And so we talked about a little bit about struggles. We talked about some of our accomplishments. We talked a little bit about staffing. What are some other areas in your business that you want our audience to know? I know running a business is hard, and it is challenging. So what's something you can give our audience to kind of inspire them?
Oh, goodness.
Well, for me, I think we talked a little bit about it, about going back to the basics and staying organized and focused and on your goal. For me, I'm old school. I love a to-do list, because you're going to get a million things thrown at you, and you just to stay focused on that one goal, which for us right now is building the business. There's not
Just
a market
spreading
here.
awareness.
And educating. And that's a really hard goal when you have a new business, to educate people on what the product or service
And then
is.
to get them to try to use the service, because it's not a really well-known service here
No.
in the Midwest. But here's the thing: once they try us, by the second time, for a majority of the time, they're hooked.
Yeah, they got
because
their time,
see-
and they don't
Yes.
have to touch the laundry. They're like, oh
Yes.
man, this
Right.
was nice.
I mean, it's just like doing your grocery delivery to your front door, or having someone bring dinner to your front door. It's one less thing for you to do. It's something to get off your plate.
Right. And then they
And-
can use that time too if you're a business owner.
Work on their business.
Yes, that's what you should be doing.
working
Yeah.
on your business
Yes.
versus working in it.
Yes.
And that's so important. I do a lot of coaching, and one of the things when I do in my coaching is I always try and coach how to make your business a time asset versus a time liability. Because I see so many business owners who maybe have had businesses for 40, 50 years, then they're retiring, and they would work 40 hours a week every single day of the business was open. And I'm like, you don't want your business to be a time liability. You want it to be a time asset. And it's so important that you're understanding that at such an early stage, 3 years into your business, and starting when COVID was around. It's amazing that you're able to get to that point where you're able to step out and actually have your business run without you guys always having to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
And that's awesome to hear. And especially with teaching about time management. So great that you're able to do that. We talked struggles, and we talked a little bit about staffing. And so your business, where do you want to take it? Where do you see the future? And we'll start with Stephanie, and then we'll kind of talk with Claudia and see what she thinks too.
Yeah, I don't know. We go back and forth on this, to be honest with you. We've thought, do we open a second location out in West Des Moines just so that our drivers aren't commuting
cover a bigger
far.
area? Yeah,
cover a bigger area. We've talked about, do we open another WeWash in another town or city nearby? We just don't know what the future holds for us right now.
We've talked about franchising. We've talked about taking our consultation service out and kind of branching to a whole nother business. That's another business model that we could explore and, help other laundry owners.
Yep. I just feel right now we've got a really good thing going as far as, like I said, a well-oiled machine.
And the balance, the life.
The balance is so important. That's the most important thing out of owning a business.
And so we're kind of just tossing up new ideas of where we think we're going to go next.
And you can get that inspiration because you can each take a week off. So that's nice.
My best ideas seem to come in the shower. I don't know
there
if that's how it is for you.
Shower thoughts.
But when I take a nice hot shower, I'm like, idea,
all these bright ideas. Yes. She'll even call me. I'm like, are you in the shower?
Yes,
Is that water running?
Yes,
I am. I got to get this idea out before I forget. That's why I almost need like a notepad in the shower just to kind of write down on.
She has her phone. So now we've got like the shared note.
There you
on
go.
Our cell phones.
We
share
I have this idea. I don't know what it is. It's like that
but
shower
I'm
thought.
jot it down before I forget about it.
Am I alone in that? Or
No, you're
Okay.
not. I have
Okay.
the same thing. It's like this best idea comes to me. Normally I forget it when I step out. I'm like, wait, what was I even thinking about? So I love that you're just like, hey, let's call her and get this on the books. Sometimes it's the best ideas you've had. Helps you grow your business, grow your company. But I tell you, it has been awesome having you guys on the show and be able just to talk with you, Claudia and Stephanie, about how you've been able to buy your time back and then the struggles you've gone through and how you've been able to overcome all of those to get to where you are now. And I love that you said, at the start that you were doing everything. You were running everything. And I think that's how you start with a business is sometimes you are doing it all. And then there has to be something that clicks, whether that's you're missing out on your kids' events.
I think it was our mental health.
Your mental health. You're like, I'm sick of this laundry, throw it away. Something clicks and you go, I need to focus on getting more time and getting that staff and getting that team in place that actually can manage your business. And it's so great to hear 3 years in that you're already at that point. I think you're going to continue to see success. Is there anything our audience should know? How can they get a hold of you, Claudia, if they wanted to know more information about you?
So you can go online, www.wewashlaundryco.com. Super simple, up in the right-hand corner, schedule a pickup.
Oh, make it convenient.
So everything is done online, and it's a very customized service. So you're able to not only, let me back up a little bit. You don't have to do any of the sorting of your laundry. Literally, just pile it all in bags.
I know I get in trouble if I throw the whites with the reds, so
Well,
it's
guess what,
awesome.
though? Yes, so you won't have to do that anymore. So you literally just throw all your laundry into any kind of cinchable bag. We tell people who don't have our WeWash laundry bag, trash bags work best. Our driver will then tag every single bag, take it back to our warehouse to where our laundry sorter will check pockets. They will separate by color, launder to your preferences. So you're even able to choose, do you want fresh scent? Do you want free and clear? Do you want a luxury detergent? Do you want wool balls used? Do you want dryer sheets used? Do you want something air dried versus put in the dryer? So what do you want hung? What do you want folded? So very customized service.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. You fill that out one time. It's saved in your profile. And then after that, you can click a button to sign up for weekly pickups. We have bi-weekly pickups or as needed. So there's no sort of contract ever. You can call the night before. You can actually now, we have a text reminder because, everyone's so busy, we forget what we just ate for lunch. A text reminder goes out roughly 6 to 7 p.m. the night prior saying, hey, don't forget you have a WeWash laundry order that's going to be picked up tomorrow morning between blah, 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 typically 7 and 2. And so, it's just easy. One less thing, the click of a button, your front door. And you don't have to be home.
That is amazing. Yeah. I love hearing that. And then Stephanie, I know you said you do some consulting. So how can they find out more about that?
They can email us, hello@wewashlaundryco.com, and we'd love to help a new business. I know you're doing the same thing here.
It is. I'm all about helping businesses and helping them grow.
We do love it. It's fun to kind of meet people from all over.
Well, and it's refreshing. It's, to be able to hear these people come to us with their troubles, we were once there, you know, and to help them grow from that and give them tips and pointers and advice.
So rewarding.
It's so rewarding. So
we're having fun. And, you know, let's not forget, we need to have fun in our life and not just work.
100%.
You know?
Take time, relax, have fun. That's sometimes when the best ideas come to you anyways.
I have to tell myself that, though, because I'm very serious, you know, and I'm like, chill out a little bit.
I'm always being told I'm guilty. My wife's like, just relax for a minute.
Yeah.
If you can't take a breather, you're always trying to come up with the next idea, and I'm like, she's right. I do need to take a breather.
It's hard to turn it off.
That's entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and some people aren't built for it,
that.
because you got to be built for it, because it is tough.
You've got to have thick skin.
You
got to be willing to grind.
Yes,
you know?
100%, and it's like I said, it's that roller coaster. It never ends.
Yeah.
You know, you think it did?
No,
You're still on the ride. Buckle up. Well, it has been my pleasure to have you on the podcast here, and I really love what you've done with WeWash Laundry Co. It's been amazing to hear your stories and being able to share a little bit about that.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
Guys, again, thank you so much for listening. This was another great episode of the By Time Podcast. My name is Jacob K. Mead, and if you want to see more of the episodes, go to bytimepodcast.com, or if you want to work directly with me, jacobkmead.com. Click on the link, apply, and until next time.